Hello and welcome. Today we are preventing fire hazards, but it's not what the conventional fires or the conventional methods that you know about. Now, there's one thing that really intrigues me. You see, we have a culture where anytime the elite is touched, we then suddenly get up and whatever it is, we rectify it. So let's say if an MP was attacked, all of a sudden you hear in Parliament that every MP should have a police officer as a police guard. But when it comes to fire, we don't seem to be bothered. I mean, how many market fires have we had? How many high offices have burnt down? I mean, even the Foreign Affairs Office, once upon a time burnt down. We lost so much information and archives which were very important to us. Yet still, we don't seem to have a culture of fire prevention, and we're still living it to today. But today, my brothers from JSE are coming out with an innovation which I think every industry, and particularly government agencies, should adapt to this. You and I should pay attention to the conversation today. My name is Nana Ansakwa, and this is PM Express. When I come back, I will tell you exactly what I'm talking about and whom I'm talking with. Stage. I told you, it's nothing conventional that you know about. This is high-tech. And we're not extinguishing fire here, we are suppressing fire. Now, I'm intrigued to find out how this whole thing works and who came about it and everything. So with me in the studio to my immediate left is Jonathan Kumi, who is the Director of Operations for JSE Security System. Jonathan, you're welcome. Thank you. And then I have Samuel Ayensu, who is the Director of Corporate Affairs for JSE Security System. Samuel, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Good. Now, I just want to find out, how long JSE Security Systems has been, tell me a bit about the company before we even move into this amazing product.
JSE Security System has been in existence for almost 4 years. Okay. And it came about as a result of 2 or 3 young professionals trying to solve problems in the system. We're looking at security. And we realized that we have various facets of security in Ghana, and certain aspects of these security challenges can be solved locally. That is when trained minds and hearts are brought together, we can solve that challenge. So upon identifying these challenges or these problems in the system, that is why JSE was established, to solve local problems and to transport this idea to the other countries around us.
In Ghana, as soon as you say security, I'm expecting a man with a kunti bar, straps on the shoulder, red and green and red flag. I mean, do you provide that as well, or?
Yes, we are into soft security. When I say soft security, JSE is not providing human guards.
Okay.
But we believe that human guards can be compromised. You need to have a total control of your security, where you can't bribe your machine. Okay, excuse me to say, where you can't bribe your machine. But a system that is more reliable. Even in your absence, you have that safety, that confidence in the system. That is where we are into soft side of security. IT-based security. So,
Jonathan, what apart from Start X, which we're going to talk about, which other things come under your soft security?
Okay, we have data security and we have IP video surveillance security.
What?
Video surveillance security.
Okay.
In the video surveillance security, we have the Axon software.
That's to speak English on my show.
All right.
What is Reaxo?
Yeah, it's analytics software for taking video frames, comparing images, checking actions and pre-actions of an individual, then combining them to know the right security measures to take.
I'm lost though.
Yes, what we want to say is that we have CCTVs. The general security system or surveillance we have in Ghana is CCTVs.
Yes.
Where you have your cameras, someone will be sitting somewhere monitoring. But with our system of surveillance, we are adding a touch of analytics to it. That is a software base. So if someone enters this studio, for instance, in my absence, the system should be able to map the trajectory of the person, where the person passed, even his normal, his body temperature, even while he's gone. If he drops objects in my office and I'm not aware, the system should be able to prompt me that there is an unidentified object. It can be a bomb. The system should be able to prompt me. And this is powered by a software. We call it Axon.
Wow.
So that's what our surveillance system is all about. And if there is a breach in your security on your perimeter, the system should be able to alert you remotely, maybe via your phone or SMS. It's just be able to tell you, Nana, your breach has been, your perimeter has been compromised.
My Jassy is very tricky, pal. I need to fix one in the palace. My Jassy is very, very tricky. I need to fix one in the palace so that I can monetize.
Yes.
That was a joke. But I mean, that's a bit high tech. Because, as far as we are aware, CCTV, sometimes it's 2 weeks later before you realize something is gone, and then you have to go back and play back, all the archives to see what happened. But this will trigger, an alarm for you to.
The world is changing.
Wow.
Crime is becoming sophisticated. You need to be on top of your game. Yes, with CCTV, you need to go through your archives, watch the videos if the incident happened 2 weeks ago. But with Axon technology, you are always on the go, having a total control. If something happens, you will be able to identify at 9 o'clock p.m. something happened within my jurisdiction. Security and management responsibilities goes hand in hand. So as corporate organizations, you don't just need to leave your security to the hands of your guard. It can easily be compromised. The CCTV comes with its shortcomings, of which that is why this system has been developed and it has been accepted worldwide.
I mean, I want to stay with the CCTV a bit. I mean, is there anyone using this CCTV and has it helped them, this Axon?
Yeah. The Axon has several companies. It has helped STED. We installed CCTV at Gridco.
Okay.
Yeah, one in Obuasi. Then we added one in Kumasi substation. Then they were able to watch it in town.
Kumasi?
Yes, and Obuasi. Then they watch it in town.
The CCTV, the IP.
The workers are not going to like you.
Gridco belongs to Ghanaians.
Of course.
It belongs to us.
Of course.
So it's also our responsibility to contribute towards national development. So when we will say we thank Reverend Engineer Kofi for having that faith in us, we install the system at the Kumasi substation and Old Obuasi substation, because they had some incidents of theft some time ago, and the system has really been of help.
So now you can monitor it.
You can monitor. It's called IP-based surveillance, and that one we did not run it on Axon platform.
Okay.
That one was not run on Axon, but it was run IP-based. That is why they were able to monitor Kumasi substations, Old Obuasi substation. But with the Axon intellect, that one is high tech. So
what if maybe I'm not in Ghana, maybe I'm outside of Ghana, and I have a factory that's got boxes of milk, or I make sardines, or and I travel outside. Can I still monitor it?
Yes. Yes, you can monitor. That's why we said you have total control of your security wherever you are. Once it's IP based, wherever you are on this planet Earth, you should have access to it.
Because normally, as soon as the as soon as people realize that the CCTV, whether it's working or not, the desire to do what you're not supposed to do diminishes a lot. I don't know if you realize that.
Yes.
But anytime there's CCTV, you don't want to
Yes. Sometimes you go to some of the banks, sometimes you go to certain offices, you realize that they've installed CCTV, yet it's not working. Just to deter people. And I think it's a good initiative on the part of this corporate organization to have CCTV installed. But they should go the extra mile of incorporating or integrating analytical systems into what they have.
But let me find a bit more about this Axon business before I come to status, because you keep amazing me with stuff. What if my normal security man or my normal watchman is in the house? Is this going to keep bleeping, telling me that this guy is there? Or is he going to notice that, well, he is my guy and that he's not, you know, an intruder?
Okay, in this setup, we channel where the usual passage to your house. So if you have an entrance, we know this time this man will pass there. So we'll give an ID to his face.
Facial recognition.
Facial recognition. The software takes your facial recognition, how your eyes are, your everything. Then we install that into the software. So when you come, the software will pick your face, then it will compare your face to the database. If it sees that it knows you, green pass, no alarm. But if you're a foreigner, then alarm raises. Then you get a message. You check, you see intrusion in your house. When you pass through the window, we virtualize all your house. There's something called virtual zoning. We draw around your house. When you crosses that virtual zone, an alarm raises. The person there wouldn't know, but you will know that, hey, there's this intrusion in my house.
Wow.
Then.
Wow, and you can do it for workplaces as well?
Yes, we can do it for corporate institutions, workplaces, mining, banks, whosoever is interested. Whosoever wants to take full control of security, we can do it for the person.
Wow, that is just something else.
And one thing too, when you install this in banks, you'll be able to know the number of staff, the number of customers coming and going out of the bank. You'll be able to identify each individual person, what they do, what they don't do. Then you know, you use that one to know your customers' behavior, how they come, how they react when they come to your place. Then you make profit.
Yes.
Based on there.
We call it intellect, and that's the intelligence aspect of the surveillance. That the system, you see, is able to tell you, call it, able to give you the total population at a particular place. Say your office, the system will be able to tell you today you received 500 visitors. As soon as the person enters, the system captures, because facial recognition technology embedded in the system, it was able to identify, capture the face, store it, and the storage can last for 10 years. So
does it say that 10 customers walked out unhappy, or?
What it does is that you need to know the number of visitors that visit your facility.
Yeah.
If you receive 10 or 1,000 customers.
So you know that these were 2 new customers today or 3 new customers today?
You will know that today I received 10,000 or 1,000 customers. How many of them did I or was I able to retain out of the 10,000? Good. What was their reaction when they entered the facility?
Whoa.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that drove them out? Now, there has been some incidents of theft or robbery in some banks. The system will be able to tell you that this person walked through this door, moved through this aisle, and you'll be able to, even while he's gone, you measure room temperature. Now, upon the facial recognition techniques, a number plate detection. The system comes with all these things: facial recognition, number plate detection, unidentified object.
And installed for 10 years?
You install, yes, it's installed.
I mean, you can keep the data for 10 years?
For 10 years. So if Nana, you in 10 years to come, if you grow bald or you begin to have gray hair, if you come 10 years, Azon intellect should point out this person was here 10 years ago at this particular time. This were his trajectory, the route, if and only if the architectural design has not been changed. And if it has been changed, we should also affect the change on the database.
So, but this thing, is it not, it's probably going to cost so much that you're better off getting the thing stolen and then buy a new one.
When it comes to cost.
What I'm saying, I mean, the machine, this system sounds so expensive that you're better off, getting this television stolen and then you save up and buy a new television rather than.
It's not expensive as you think.
It sounds expensive.
It's not. It's,
really?
It's technology. It's software based. It's not expensive at all.
Wow.
Most people are scared of advancement. If there has been a breakthrough, they think it's going to be, wow, there's going to be thousands and millions of dollars or cedis. No, it's not. It's even cheaper. It's even cheaper. The cost of losing an item or a facility is more expensive than having Azon intellect in your facility. You sleep and you have the peace of mind to think about your future and about your children's children.
We'll come back to this Axon business because I'm a bit taken aback, and all the things it does is pretty frightening, but I think it's very necessary, and some of the pilfering that are going on these days, I think we need to Axon. Many institutions need Axon.
Exactly.
But let's talk about this thing which amazes me. Now, number one, is it refillable? Can you refill this, or I would have to throw the can away and buy a new can?
Statex. This is a canister.
Yeah.
It contains the agent, the proprietary agent. So it's not you can't refill it.
You can't refill it.
As you use it, you discard it. We replace it for you.
Now, if I have electrical hazards in my room, or I have petrol hazards in my room, or if I have wood fire, gas, would I need specific canisters for specific fires? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would need specific canisters for specific fires.
Yeah, you will need. It depends on the volume of the room. If you have a gas fires, okay.
I mean gas hazards, if I may say. Yeah.
Okay. You need to measure the room, the volume of the room. You take area and height, then you calculate the system, the number of canisters for you to use in the room.
But does the chemical change as the hazards change, or the chemical is universal?
Okay. You want to know how the system
Let's say if I have electrical fire, can I use this?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's say if I have petrol fire, can I use the same, or now I need to buy different?
No. This. Statex combats all the various classes of. We have 3 classes of fires. We have class A, class B, class C. Now, class A is paper and wood, combustible materials. Okay. Classify them as class A. Class B, we have the grease and the liquid substances.
Yeah.
Then the class C is electrical fires. So with this Statex, this product Statex combats or fights or suppresses the various 3 classes of fires.
Wow. So that if in this room, for instance, we have wood, we have electrical,
yes.
Maybe not gas or liquid, but if we had it, we don't need to go and get wood canister, electrical canister, and this canister.
It's
the same canister.
It's the same canister. It's not the canister that is doing.
Well, I mean what did you say was inside? You said something.
Okay. What's inside this canister is potassium carbonate.
Okay.
And they have been charged and formed into balls, like naphthalene balls. Inside this canister, there are 3 layers. We have the actuator here that takes the signals. We have the balls, and then we have the cooling agents here. When there is fire in any room, say an industry, the smoke detector picks the smoke, it sends to the control panel analyzes, is it fire or it's false alarm. If it's not fire, it goes off. But if it's fire, it sends signals to this, then the agent here, it allows small oxygen to enter. Then isothermically, it forces itself in this, it passes through here, then through this pores, it pushes out, then it comes. When it comes out, it reacts with the fire, chain reaction, and suppresses the fire.
And we all know that the first 3 minutes is absolutely crucial. I'm going to take a break here, and then when we come back, I find out, what if it's a false alarm? How does this thing know that, this is a false alarm? Because I don't want my canister triggering, and then I need to go and buy a new canister when it wasn't a fire. Stay tuned. Preventing fire hazards, but not the conventional way, in a very, very high-tech and very modern way. I know Lands Department once upon a time suffered the fire, and what really breaks my heart, one, is the Foreign Affairs one, because I'm told that we lost treaties that Nkrumah had signed, documents that were, historic, that we could have left for posterity to come and find out how Ghana was formed and how we changed from colonial into our independence, were all burned down because the fire hydrant next to the Foreign Affairs Ministry was shut at the time of the fire. And can you imagine all that could have been saved if they had a little canister by the side of that air conditioner? It would have turned it off. And I don't know what would trigger us to get serious about fire, but I think we are trying to simplify and prevent, these fire hazards. But before we went on the break, I was just trying to find out how, would my canister know that, oh, this is not just a fire, this is just a little smoke, therefore I'm not going to blast my hydrocarbons and whatever it is that you see is in the potassium carbonate?
Potassium carbonate.
Yeah. How is it going to detect that, oh, this one I'm not going to fire them, or this one, no, this I have to fire?
Okay. The canister itself doesn't detect the fire.
Okay.
Okay. For the canister to discharge, you need to use smoke detector, heat detector, and other detectors. Okay. So in this instance, we use smoke detector and heat detector. When there is smoke in the room, the smoke detector picks it, then the heat detector will also pick it. Then the control panel, taking care of this, will compare. Is it a false alarm? Is it only smoke? If it's only smoke, it kills the alarm. If it's heat and no smoke, it kills the alarm. But if it's smoke and heat, then it discharges.
There's no smoke without fire.
It could be dust. It could be dust, people sweeping in the room. So when the dust rises, then the smoke detector will pick. But the control panel needs to know whether this is real smoke or it's a false alarm.
So you need the smoke and some amount of heat.
Yes.
To detect that, no, this is not.
Yes.
It's not ordinary smoke.
Yes.
Wow. Now the other thing is, normally with normal fire extinguishers, you spray out the foam or water, and sometimes even make more mess than the fire would have made, where all your documents will be wet and murky and everything. So what comes out of this? I mean, is it a gas? Is it a liquid, a foam? What comes out?
Okay. Before we talk about that, let's talk about how this is able to suppress the fire.
Good.
Okay. We've been taught so widely that we have the fire triangle. Okay. But today, we know that we have the fire tetrahedron. It's no longer fire triangle.
Tetrahedron, yes. Tetrahedron. That's what. Clean your ears. We're going to talk about the tetrahedron today. Educate me.
Okay. What constitutes that? We have your fire, the heat, your oxygen, the fuel, and the chemical reaction in the fire.
Fire, the heat.
No, not the fire. Oxygen.
Oxygen.
Heat. Fuel.
Fuel.
And the chemical reaction.
Okay.
That forms the tetrahedron. Okay. For any fire to propagate, there are free radicals in the fire.
Free radicals?
Free radicals.
Free
Yes.
radicals, okay.
Free radicals in the fire. That makes the fire to propagate. So, for any suppression agent to work, people take out one of the tetrahedron, the triangle. So you can take, if you take the oxygen out, those in the room might be suffocated and die. If you take the fuel out, it's not easy. So normally they take the oxygen out, then they take the other heat out. Some takes the heat, they pump cold gas into the room, then they suppress the fire. But what we do is, this status, when it discharges, the potassium carbonate, the potassium is the main agent to suppress the fire. It's 100% potassium. So it bonds with the hydroxide. That's the free radicals. You have the oxygen, the hydrogen, the hydroxide. This bonds with the hydroxide. Then it forms potassium hydroxide. It moves on to bond with the hydrogen. Then from potassium plus water. You see, now we've dropped the free radicals. We've combined it to make it water. The water bonds with the hydrogen again. Then it moves on and moves on and moves on. Then have fire suppression. Your document to be intact, nothing, no zinc, no other agents to destroy your equipment. So basically.
So there's a gas that will come out of this?
Yes.
Not liquid?
Not liquid.
Not foam?
Not foam. Aerosol.
And you need to educate me here. Okay. And out of the 4 elements that make fire,
okay.
Which this won't attack the oxygen?
No. You see, like other, what makes this one stand out is that when you take other agents or other means of fighting fire, say the CO2, it's carbon dioxide, that is based on the previous idea of the fire triangle. You have your heat, you have your oxygen, and you have your material or the fuel. The CO2 reacts, it suppresses the amount of oxygen present for the fire to die out. Fire requires oxygen. It requires the heat. It requires the material, the fuel for it to grow. So the CO2 fights the oxygen. Then one side of the triangle is broken, so it's no longer a triangle. So the fire cannot propagate. With statics, statics is not taking the oxygen out. What if you have your personnel in your office? How do you do it? You need to save properties and lives. Saving life, human life, is the most important thing for you to do. So what statics does is that statics is not attacking the fuel. Statics that the potassium is not attacking the oxygen, but it's just concentrating on the chemical reaction aspect of the combustion process. You are getting it now. So it makes it environmental friendly. When statics discharge, you can be there 10 minutes, 20 minutes without any harmful effect on you. And one thing is that the particles, we say it is based on aerosol technology, meaning the particles of statics is ultra fine. It is between 1 and 1.3 microns, meaning it's just a little bit above the size of a virus. So if statics discharge now, you wouldn't need to spend much on cleaning up or cleaning the room. Initial time is very minimum.
So if I had paper, if I was keeping paper documents, it wouldn't ruin the paper?
No. That's why statics is very good for all materials, papers, electrical equipment, even your computers, yes. And there are other agents on the market that can work. It works like statics, but efficiency is the most important thing. Some agents contain zinc. At the end of the day, contain zinc, and the zinc will react with your machines. So in this studio, for instance, if an agent discharge, agent I don't want to even mention the name, discharge, it will discharge. It will suppress the fire for you, but it comes with a cost that you need to replace your device. But what statics does, as we saw on the video, what statics does is this: it just attacks the fire, leave everything without any peripheral damage to your system. With the dry chemicals, for instance, at certain degrees, one thing that we don't know in Ghana, at certain degrees, dry chemicals conduct electricity. and it can kill you.
Wow.
It can kill you. The halon substitutes. We have halon substitutes. There was an incident in Nigeria where they installed this facility. I don't want to mention the company's name, where at a certain point in time, the employees began to have swollen faces because there was a leakage somewhere. And this substitute, the halon substitute, are very harmful to your health.
I see.
Are very harmful. So dry chemical powders conduct electricity. Other agents, they contain potassium, but they are not pure. The maximum you can get is 40%. I don't want to mention the name, but there are some substances, there are some agents, they will tell you it's potassium. It contains potassium. It's 40%. Started as 100%, and it comes with organic binder. So it has been certified by Underwriters Laboratory in US and Canada. Ghana National Fire Service has also testified that it's a good product.
Unorganic.
Organic binder.
Organic binder.
Oh, okay.
Organic binder. Okay, so the question that you asked earlier on is there is an extinguisher, and it will mess up the place for you. You go to various places, organizations with critical infrastructure, you see them having extinguishers mounted on the wall. Ask yourself, can extinguisher fight a fire in your MCCs, say your control rooms? Can you use fire extinguisher to fight such a fire? No. The person on duty will run away. They will run away. And I tell you, your MCC is the heart of your organization. Your server room is the heart of your company. Having the extinguisher, fine. But the person being able to use the extinguisher is another problem. Ask how many people know even how to use fire extinguisher. If you're out there as a CEO, you are attending a seminar and your office is in fire at night, like what happened at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Are you saying someone wasn't around? There was someone. But how can the person use a CEO extinguisher to fight such fire? No.
And the first 3 minutes is very crucial.
Yes, it's very crucial. I'll run to save my life. And it has been a cost. It has been a cost to Ghana.
The reason why I'm intrigued about this is with regards to industrial fires. I mean, we have had lots and lots of industrial fires. I mean, sometimes you stand on there and you look at industrial area and there's just smoke bellowing from one factory. And I'm wondering, what the owners may think. And all they probably need is a bit of suppressant, to buy yourself time for fire service to come, or even maybe not even need the fire service.
It's one thing is this, with this outbreak of industrial fires. In Ghana, it's a law that you should have a fire certificate, of which the Ghana National Fire Service are doing so well in that regard, that they will come time in time to inspect whether your place has been certified. Yes, but I am throwing the challenge further, that not just having extinguishers around, not just having fire extinguisher, but will that system be able to protect lives and property? Yes, when you go to industrial area, other organizations have been experiencing fire. Not even only industrial area, our market women. This year, fire outbreak, Kumase, Makola, Agbogboshi.
Do you have to use this in an enclosed area?
This one it's not only for an enclosed area. We install statics even in your generator.
I see.
Yes, we've installed it in generators, even heavy-duty machines.
But the generator is very hot by nature, so the thing is, will just go off, when the engine gets hot.
All these things have been factored into the design of statics.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay. You see, there is a one called the thermally activated. We have versions of this, forms of this. We have the manual pool, we have the electrically activated, and then we have the thermally activated. In the generator, for instance, it will be thermally activated. The temperature will be set to the limit of burning, say 60 or 70 or 80 degrees. Then it will be installed. So when there is fire, boom, to that limit, that temperature, then it will discharge.
I see.
Yes, as you saw on the video, as the video that we saw, we realized that some of this standalone Statex unit has been installed in cabinet. So when the localized fire started, that unit was able to suppress the fire. That one was a thermal activated.
Oh, okay.
Activated canisters or Statex unit, and with
so that would have its own individual sensor and won't use the central sensor.
We have, depending on the facility you have, we have we design the system and we integrate it into what you have.
Okay.
For instance, let me take with the video we saw was a switchgear room, say an MCC. Say when you take ECG, for instance, they are control rooms, or Greco, they are control rooms. The mining companies, they are control rooms. We call it MCCs, motor control centers. We install these electrically activated ones and thermally activated ones, depending on what you have.
Okay.
Okay. When I take it to your server room upstairs or in your corporate office, when I go to the server room, I'll look at the panels you have. Then we will design. We will do integrity testing. We will analyze the place very well and see which one is very suitable for you.
Is there a system where I can just pull it and direct it to a fire?
We have another one. You want to put it into fire?
No. I mean, like pull it and direct it towards whatever it is.
For the fire to suppress.
I mean, can I manually trigger it?
We have one called manual triggers. We call it first responders.
Okay.
The first responder is just like a grenade, something small. You just open it, 2 to 3 seconds, just release it into the fire. And this is what our firemen need to protect them. Before they come to you and fight the fire, when you go to New York, for instance, that's what the firemen uses. Before they fight the fire in your residence, they need to go in with the first responder. You throw it into it, suppresses it a bit, then they analyze the situation before they fight it for you.
Is it only for initial fires, or, I mean, like full-blown fires? I mean, how?
We say suppression. As soon as the fire starts, it will not allow the fire to grow to that extent. If the fire starts, if it ignites, with a preset time, say 20 seconds, we can set it 15 seconds upon detection of fire by the system. 15 seconds. So it will not allow it. That is why we said at the end of the whole show, when Statex has worked, we have no or little peripheral damage. So it will not even allow the fire to grow. As soon as it starts, it suppresses it for you. So sometimes there has been an instance when you go to state development consults, sorry I've mentioned their names, when you go to their office, for instance, their server rooms, for instance, the system activated 2 weeks later, then they realize that, oh, there has been a fire, the status has been activated. Because it's a standalone thing we did for their generators.
Okay.
They didn't even know. That is why, even though at a point in time we'll be coming for maintenance and
I was going to do that. Maintenance to make sure that everything is in place. What do you do, once a year, once a month?
One thing that is very interesting about Statex is this. Unlike other agents, there are some suppressing agents that you need to inspect the pressure. It's pressurized. You are storing the suppressing agent in a pressurized cylinder. And mind you, these are unstable gases. So as it's in the cylinder, it leaks along the valve. And the suppressing agent is just under the cylinder. So it is this hydrogen that draws it out. So you need to increase the pressure all the time. And that comes with a cost. It's very costly. Using the HFCs is very, very costly. Very, very costly. and you need to construct pipes, doing piping network. That comes with a cost.
So what's the maintenance routine on this?
But with this, we depending on the facility, how critical the facility is. Say cell sites, we can come there once a year, just to inspect it. Because we can network, one thing about starters, we can network it for you. If you have installed statics at remote areas, we can network them for you to monitor if there is an incidence of occurrence of fire outbreak. The system will be able to tell you, oh, Nana, cell site number 1. So the telecommunications, they need statics. At their cell sites, they need statics. At their generators, they need statics.
I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, you know, you keep going about the thing not being pressurized. So is there enough in there to extinguish the fire? Stay tuned, I'm coming back. Wow. I never thought I was going to get so excited about fire extinguishers like this evening. I'm sure you have too. But just before the break, I just want to find out, if it's not pressurized, is there enough, you know, potassium in there to put out any fire?
With statics, when we say it's based on aerosol technology, we are saying that you don't need to store a fire suppression agent, but you should produce suppressing agent upon the need. When there is the need, the system should be able to produce or generate it for you.
I see.
So here is the proprietary agent, the potassium that has been ionized or charged into it. And when it does happen and it has been installed, we'll do 4 times maintenance for you. We'll look at the connections if everything is intact. So in case like the banks, they need statics. The mining companies, your MCCs, your generators, your crushers, your motors, your compressors at the mines, you need statics.
You're telling me that NASA uses it?
Yes, NASA is using statics in their mission critical equipment like the crawlers. They use statics. When you go to NASA is using statics. NASA is using statics.
So we don't
it's
have
an
any
ISO certified product.
I see.
Yes. When you go to even Hong Kong, they use statics.
I see.
And in Ghana, some mining companies are using statics.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So if anybody is watching and they need statics and they're impressed just as I am, how do they get you?
You can. We are located. The GSC is located on 16 Silicon Valley Close, Spot M.
So they give us near the blue kiosk.
Yes, Spot M. When you get to Spot M of Angkor Barrier, that's for Spot M.
Thank you.
Our numbers are 0242 068 720.
The number again?
0242 068 720, 0242 109713, and 0546 540 309. Or you can visit us on www.gscsecurity.com for more information. But we are saying statics, we are protecting your life and we are protecting your property.
Folks, can you believe it? All too soon our time is up and we haven't even finished talking about fire extinguishing. But I want to say thank you very much. It's been educative, even though it's we're trying to sell a product. But I mean, I think anybody who owns any meaningful industry, you should consider this, and by all means give them a call. Those of you, Thursday is up, and every Thursday between 2 and 3 p.m. I have a show on Joy FM called That's My Opinion. And tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Bring back our goats. Now, I know you're going to disagree with me, so tune in and find out why I am demanding that bring back our goats. Folks, tomorrow we'll be back to do it all over again. Thank you very much for watching.